Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be building a house using 5 completely random blocks that are chosen by this randomizer right here. But there's a twist. Using these blocks, I'll have to build whatever theme this wheel picks. So let's get right into it and find out our theme. Alright, let's give the wheel a spin to see what we get. I don't know if I have any real preference here, just something kind of cool. Potion shop. I don't even know what I would build here. Alright, let's see what blocks we get. Hopefully some decent stuff, I don't know. Acacia log, oh god. I'm only going to do like full blocks by the way, so if I get like a trapdoor, I'm going to do another one. Oxidized copper, oh no. This is looking kind of tragic. Oh no. I feel like that could be worse. I mean, light blue concrete powder should kind of blend with the oxidized copper, I think. Smooth stone, okay. Polished tough. Oh man. All right, so I got the blocks here. Honestly, like, not a terrible block palette. Really, like the light blue concrete might be a bit tough to work in, but I think in a gradient, I can get it looking pretty good. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get a couple gradients down of just how I think I'm gonna end up using these blocks. And then I'll kind of go into the plan I have for this build, because I think it's gonna be kind of interesting. If you haven't seen a video in this series, by the way, I don't have to only use that block, but I have to use like a lot of the block, basically. Like it has to be a main part of the build, but not the only block, pretty much. Like, yeah, it's definitely usable. And that already knocks out 2 blocks, and then I think like this can blend at the top pretty decently with some andesite, maybe. Yeah, it's honestly not bad. It's like more than like a usable gradient. That's already 3 blocks down. So I think the main structure of the build that I'm gonna be building here will be stone. Like this kind of block palette, but then I'll use these colors as like sort of splashes of color in there, because these aren't like impossible to mix. Obviously straight up, that's not gonna work that well. Maybe with some cyan, we'll be able to get it across. Not really. That actually might be a bit harder to blend than I thought. Maybe not. Let me think about this for a second. It's just a bit off. I don't know what I'm really supposed to do with that. Or whatever. Now that we like kind of got an idea of the blocks we're using, I'm gonna get some red wool out. I'm gonna start planning out the shape. As the amazing artist I am, I have this beautiful sketch I might put on the screen now. We'll see. It's kind of like a very quick, rough plan I had for it. It's not great. I can't draw, but it's kind of like a rough idea I had for the build. It's basically gonna have like a few different like roof sections, and then like these like hanging like large potion bottles, at least one on the right, maybe one on the left too. I want kind of like a wizard tower to make this kind of look like magical a bit, you know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna play with like the scale, because I'm not a huge fan of like a few things as drawing, obviously. So we'll see how it actually ends up looking, but I think it'll be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna just get the shape out real quick. It looks like a rough like kind of version 1. Probably something like that for the shape, I think. Oh, there'll be a tower back there, another roof section over here. This will kind of slope up into the like main part of the build, and this middle rectangle will be like pretty tall. I want room for a sign in the middle, because you know it's like a shop, basically, you know, a potion shop, whatever the theme was. And on the right, we'll have like a crane sort of thing. I don't know. I want it to feel a bit like magical, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure exactly how technical I want it to look, or if I just want it to look kind of like weird. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, I think you can probably tell that I don't have the greatest plan here or anything, but I'm just gonna fill this in and kind of get a sense of scale for this real quick, and then we'll kind of move into actually getting the blocks in. Like, I think you're starting to get what I'm doing, right? Like, I'm a bit worried about this middle part just kind of looking like a big rectangle. So I'm gonna have to think of ways to make this shape a bit more interesting. Maybe adding like a second one of these somewhere on the front. I think I want dormers on the roof somewhere, but I just need to think of ways to like mix the shape up, because right now I think it will feel like a pretty just large box with attachments on it. But I think it'll look pretty good towards the end, but I don't know, I guess we'll see. I want this tower. I want the tower to be the tallest part, obviously. Like, I think, yeah, it's starting to see the vision, you know? All right, I think I'm starting to kind of get it here, you know? Just gotta keep an open mind, you know, trust the process. All right, I think what I'm gonna do right now is just take stairs and kind of figure out where I want the roof to go. Because I'm not exactly sure how much overhang I really want on it, if any. Like, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going for a bit of a different style here than I would normally do. But we'll see how it looks. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, this middle section might be a bit too square, but yeah, we'll see. These blocks are all placeholders for the roof, by the way. I just gotta see the shape they go up at. I'm gonna have to use like the blue in here, so it probably won't be this color. I think you kind of start getting the picture of what I'm going for here. Obviously, it'll be a lot more colorful. These are obviously all placeholders. This will have like a tower, like pointed roof sort of thing here. I haven't figured out how I want to do that yet, but I think I'm liking it. This front section is a bit plain. I think what I might do, this is an experiment here. We'll see what this looks like. 1 second. Move that over like 3. Just trying to figure out how to make this shape more interesting, basically. I might be overdoing it a bit. Kind of like the idea of it making like no sense though. Like just kind of being like very like over the top. Yeah, let's fill everything in real quick with this placeholder block. Then we'll see what it looks like. All right, that is all the placeholder blocks filled. And I actually think I like it. I might drop that one front roof a block so it doesn't connect here. I think that might be the call. But overall, I'm really happy with the shape of this. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually don't. All right, do I like that these connect now? Not particularly. I think I make this one smaller. That might be the call. Something like that, make it a block shorter as well. Just kind of, you know, get some height differentiation in there, you know? See what it looks like. That's not bad. There's a big empty space here, but I think once we get like a sign and some texturing in, it won't actually look that bad. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with the overall shape of this. Of course, the walls are gonna be some level of this gradient, probably some other stuff in there, maybe some moss. And I need to incorporate blue somehow into the roofs to get at least copper, I think, will be in there somewhere with however I texture it. These green lines are where I plan on having like these crane sort of structures with like these large glass bottles, because of course it's a potion shop. So yeah, you know, gotta get something potiony in there, I think. But I'm actually really liking the way this looks. It looks really unique. I don't think I've really built anything like this before, but yeah, I'm liking it. I think we'll start with texturing though. I'm just gonna finalize this gradient. That's what I have so far. I think that might just be pretty good. I mean, I think I'll go in and mix like mossy patches in. But let's kind of see how this looks once I just get a lot of this in. So it's gonna take a minute. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. That'd be pretty crazy. Closing in on 60K. It'd be really cool if I hit that pretty soon. I appreciate all the support recently in general. It's been crazy. I also got a Discord link down below. I should definitely consider joining that. Got a lot of cool people in there. Some interesting individuals. We have channels like, you know, for build tips and all that stuff. But yeah, I really appreciate you joined. Back to this house though. That is a bit too messy, I think. I need to like tone that back a bit. Probably something like that. It's not bad. Of course, there's gonna be like a door in there, windows, all that to kind of break the texturing up. But I do like the way it looks. So we're just gonna do that everywhere. And maybe by the time I finish doing this, you might have joined the Discord. You know, it'd be crazy. It's not bad. Of course, yeah, this is gonna be empty, but I'll fill it up with like a sign or something. Maybe banners is how we're gonna do that. I haven't decided yet, really. We'll see. Wonderful weather. Very beautiful day. Somewhere, I'm sure, you know. It's coming along though. It's just taking forever. But I actually really like the way it looks. All right, and that's finally the texturing done for the walls. That was maybe the longest like single texturing like recording I've ever done in my life. Obviously I'm gonna cut like all of it out, so it was pretty quick for you, but this took ages. But with that, we're down 3 blocks already. Now I just gotta kind of ruin this decent looking build by adding like stuff to make it kind of feel like a bit more magical, and then also mixing in these 2 blocks, probably in the roof. We'll see. At least the copper probably could be part of the roof, but yeah, it's gonna get kind of interesting, I think. First what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go around and I think I'm gonna add like, I don't know, maybe spruce and dark oak would probably fit the best. I just want some like wood details around, kind of make it look a bit more like rickety maybe, because it looks way too flat right now. So oops. I think up here spruce would look pretty good. I don't know exactly how or where, but I think something like that. We'll see. I just need to separate this roof a bit, but I don't want to give it a whole overhang because it's kind of ugly. I think something like this will look pretty decent. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually, I think. It's not bad. I think, yeah, maybe this will be a copper, like, spire sort of thing, maybe. That might be actually all I need to use the copper for. Just get a blue gradient on just this tower. That might actually look pretty good. I think that's what we'll do next. But yeah, I'm gonna add I'm gonna add spruce details basically everywhere at some point. But yeah, let's try to do this tower, actually. I think I like this gradient. I plan on doing more blue stuff around, by the way, but this is just one place I'm gonna use it. But let's see what this looks like. That's not bad. That's technically using all 5 blocks. I don't really count that. I'm gonna use those 2 blocks way more throughout the build, but I actually kind of like this build a lot. I don't know what it is about it that I like, but I like it. Let's figure out where all the doors go. Of course, I'm gonna use spruce. I get so many comments telling me to use dark oak. It just has too much contrast with like most block palettes. Like, I don't know, like it just looks way too dark basically everywhere. So if I were to put a door here, let's do something like this. It might look decent here because it's a pretty big door. It's kind of round this frame out a bit. I might actually make that work. We'll see. Yeah, I get comments saying I just hate dark oak for some reason, but I just don't agree with most of the places that people tell me to use it. Because if I have a house built out of like spruce or oak, then dark oak is literally just too dark. It just has way too much contrast. But something like this where it's stone, it's really not bad. I actually don't mind that. I'm not gonna actually do the banner stuff yet, but let me just look at how this would fit. Maybe that's where we do it. How far away can you see those? Okay, basically forever, like effectively like forever. So that's fine. But yeah, I think that's where the banner is gonna go. So we can experiment with some details for the roof trim. I was thinking about spruce. I don't hate that. We'll see. I want a window here. We'll use one piece of acacia wood here just to hide this. And I guess I kind of want to, probably a gray window. I have a weird resource pack problem with my glass right now, so just kind of ignore that. Okay, and then let's say we put like flower pot here. What flowers feel like potion-y, you know? I don't like how that sits there. Something like that though. It's really not bad. Getting a bunch more windows around would definitely like help though. I do want one here. I was thinking like a taller one, like something like that. Kind of like this circular look. If I get some stairs out here. Kind of feel bad not doing an interior on this because you'll like see through. I'll have to think of something to put behind that to like block it out. Alright, but I do like that overall. It's kind of might be a bit big. Okay, like I think we're getting there. Could use a window here. I don't know what kind of shape I really want it though. I was gonna think on that. Something simple on that one. We'll hang a lantern and maybe a flower pot from it. Okay, simple, but looks good. It's really not bad though. I think we're getting there. I don't think I want the roof itself to be blue. I think what I'm gonna do is to like solidify that I've used these blocks, which I think were what? These two? I'm gonna make like a potion with a crane on the side, which is my drawing. And I think it's gonna be like a blue potion in it, so it'll kind of use those colors as well. I don't know how I'm gonna do this crane thing though, but I know I want to do it. I also don't know how to build a potion, so a lot of unique stuff on this build, I think. But we'll give it a shot. Something like that. Okay, it's not bad. I think I want this to be one longer though, so I'm gonna use world edit. Just give this an extra like block to kind of breathe here. And now I gotta figure out how to make a potion. Now this is something that's not gonna be easy. I think I'm gonna try with the world edit first. Actually, no, I'll make a glass. I'll do like a man. All right, my glass flock is invisible, so I think we'll actually make it out of wool for now. I'll move it into place. I just want to build over here. So what we'll do, start with like a sphere, basically. A classic sphere. That's all I got. Wonderful weather. Obviously, it's gonna be kind of a reasonable size too, which makes this a bit more difficult. All right, this is not looking good here. I'm gonna start with like a sphere, maybe. We'll do glass. We'll do like 3. Okay, it's kind of a potion. It's not awful. It's not great though. It's not bad. Maybe once I get like stuff in it, it'll look kind of decent. So what do I need? I need to use oxidized copper and light blue. We'll see. It's really not bad. Maybe if I get like carpet on it. It's not bad. I'm being like really nitpicky right now, I think. Maybe I get some light in here also. That might look pretty good. It's not bad. Maybe if I move it into place, put like chains on it, it might look pretty decent. I want it to be like really big and exaggerated. That's kind of the point here. So I'm not worried about the scale, even though it does look pretty big. That really isn't bad. That's kind of fire. Hold up. All right, we'll move it like up like 1 or 2. Move it over 1. Put it right there. We'll get like a chain coming down and grabbing it. Hold up. You see what I'm looking at here? Like, that's not bad. That's really not bad. I want one on the other side too, I think. Of course, I gotta get the banners, and I gotta get a lot more detail, and I have to texture the roof. But that's a good step. Let me see what like one of these would look like over here. Just gonna copy this crane over, roughly. Yeah, I kind of want it to come off the tower somehow. That's tough. Come on. That's fire. Obviously, I'm going to recolor that. It's not going to be blue because it'll be obvious it's the same one. So maybe what we'll do is like place near... what color look good here? Probably purple. That's tough. Come on, that's fire. I can get rid of these gradients now. I'm done with them. I would consider that every block used. So now it's just about finishing up this build. I want to kind of fix the crane shape up a bit. It'll look a bit too like jittery almost. I want to texture the roof, get some paths, some plants, some more windows on the back, get the sign done, and then we're probably about done. I think we're almost done. But yeah, let's I guess get windows on the back. Seems like a easy thing to start with. I also want to get a bit of shape to this maybe, or just enough details on it, because right now it's kind of just a cylinder with like a cone on it. We'll see. I don't know. Bit of spruce detailing on this window. I actually like this a lot. Looks pretty cool. He's got some windows on the back, and then we're probably like, oh, we're getting there. I just really like this build. I don't know. It's not anything crazy, but it's kind of different from what I usually do, I guess, which is kind of the point of the random block thing. Even if the blocks weren't really that crazy, because I kind of could just incorporate 3 of them in a pretty standard gradient. But yeah, let's keep getting windows in. For some reason, I feel like putting like a garden back here. I don't know if it's gonna be like a flower garden. I don't know what really you would make potions with. Maybe this is where they grow like their flowers for like suspicious stew, because you know it's like a kind of potion-ish, you know? No idea. Okay, okay. I like that. Some windows around here. I'm trying to make like some parts just a bit more interesting, but it's not bad or anything. Like I do really like this build, honestly, but we'll see. Maybe you hate it. Let me know down below what you think. I'm actually kind of curious because it's kind of a bit different from my channel, really, but it's kind of the nature of the challenge, so it's not too surprising. All right, we're almost there. I want to texture this roof real quick. It shouldn't be too bad. Man, who am I kidding? It doesn't look fun. All right, I'll be honest, but it shouldn't be too bad. I should have done this before I put lanterns. I'm kind of an idiot, but whatever. Does actually make a really big difference though. Like I like the way this roof looks way better than like this one. So let's get a couple of these around. Not too textured or anything, just kind of a bit. And then we gotta get the sign in, and then I want to get some, you know, some more details on this front part, just fill it out, and then some plant life around it. And then I think we're about done. I feel like I should think some more like ages ago at this point. I just kind of say that a lot. We're always almost done, of course. We're getting there. All right, that is all the roofs textured. That took forever. Oh my God, I forgot the top. Just slabs here, and then it'll be all the roofs textured real quick, just like something like this. Nothing crazy. All right, now the roof is textured. Let's get these letters out. All right, so I used a command to give me these. Obviously, I'm not gonna make all these. I don't feel like it. Let's get the ones we need though. Spell out potions, of course. Take a minute. All right, let's see how this fits. Do I like the gray? I think I like the gray. I think I gotta kind of frame it somehow. Maybe not frame it, but I gotta get some kind of thing going on here. Like something like that. Don't quite like that. I don't hate that. Let's get some like leaves around. It's some vines, like a bit of nature. Make it kind of look like it's kind of in the terrain. Not necessarily terrain, but you know what I mean. Kind of like nature's growing around it. I mean, it might be about done. All right, I kind of like that. Let's get a path in real quick. A little bit of like ruined, kind of like almost like patching the stone in some spots, because I'd imagine this is kind of an old sort of build, you know? So I just want some small spruce accents around, I think. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna quick fly around. I'm actually really happy with the way this build looks. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do anything. I kind of like converted like the random garbage I drew horribly on a piece of paper pretty well. Can't quite go that. I know I can get a resource back to like extend the range of signs. But yeah, it's gonna be it. I'm honestly really happy with how this build came out. I didn't think it was gonna look good at all. I was kind of really worried with the theme. Then also the pretty terrible sketch I made. But in the end, it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. I think it's probably the best random block build I've ever done, at least in my opinion. Maybe you disagree, let me know. I got a whole playlist of them down below, by the way. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Closing on 60K, you know, maybe drop a sub, you know, all that. Join the Discord, join the Patreon, all that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Thanks for watching. And of course, thank you to my patrons, Aelic, ThaMango, Luke T007, Tommi, National High, and of course, Sai. I appreciate it. And yeah, see ya.